All right, in this lesson, we are going to review the parts of an argument. We're going to do this by looking at an eighth grader's essay. So this was written by an eighth grader for a state test in Oklahoma. It has all the elements that I am looking for. It has all the elements that you need to provide on the 10 Ready test. And I think it will be a good model for you to follow as you write your essay. So let's take a look at what this eighth grader was told to write about. So they were given two texts about zoos, and we won't read the text here, that's not the point, but they were given texts about zoos, and this is what they were asked to do. People have different viewpoints about whether animals, including endangered animals, should live in the wild or in man-made environments. Write an argument whether any animal should be kept in a controlled environment, such as zoos or nature parks. Be sure to state a claim and address an opposing claim using evidence presented from both passages. So this is very similar to what you're doing. They had two passages. You have about 4 or 5, something like that. On the 10 Ready test, you will also have 2 passages. So you'll also have 2 passages. And on the 10 Ready test, you'll probably either have to write an argument or an informational text. All right, so let's take a look here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to color code. So you should have your markers. If you don't have your markers, raise your hand and stop the video so that everyone has a set of markers. All right, so here we go. We are going to make the hook yellow. So go ahead and color the hook yellow. We are going to make the background orange. So let's find orange here. So the background is going to be orange. And you might want to put a box around it so you can still see it. I'm going to make the claim green. So green for the claim. Then when we go down into the body, each one of these is a paragraph. Each paragraph should have at least one reason with evidence to support it and an explanation of how that evidence supports the reason. So we're going to make our reasons red. We're going to make our evidence blue. We're going to make our explanation purple because red and blue make purple, and the explanation ties the reason and the evidence together. So go down and color code the rest. We're going to make the conclusion. Oops. So we're going to put our counterclaim in the conclusion paragraph just to make things easy. So we'll make our counterclaim, oh, I don't know. You can mark that with a pencil because I'm running out of colors. So counterclaim is gray. We'll make the rebuttal black. And I don't think I have a brown. Let's see. We'll say the conclusion paragraph will make it brown. We'll call that brown. All right, so we've color coded. Now let's go and look at our essay. So you should have your essay in front of you. Have you ever thought that keeping animals in zoos is actually beneficial to them in many ways? So this is, what do you remember? It is the hook. So this is the hook. So when you start your essay, you start with a hook to get people thinking. And the hook can be, it can be a question. I'm going to go ahead and type this in here real quick. So the hook can be a question to get them thinking. It can be a fact, or it can be a statistic. Sorry, it's early. So the hook is how you're going to start it out. You've got to have a hook. Okay. That is true because animals are threatened in the wilderness and are exposed to some unhealthy living conditions. However, some people say otherwise because they think animals are not given the same type of freedom as they are in the wild. That might be true in some cases, but the reason why they should be kept in zoos or nature parks far outweighs the cause than why they shouldn't. Okay. So this whole big piece right here, we call the background or bridge. So the background or bridge gets us thinking about the topic. What they did in this background or bridge is they talked about what some people's views are. They did actually address a counterclaim in here. So that is true because animals are threatened in the wilderness and are exposed to some unhealthy living conditions. However, some people say otherwise because they think animals are not given the same type of freedom. So they gave us a counterclaim. So they put the counterclaim in the bridge, and that's completely okay. You can put the counterclaim in the bridge. Oops. Doing this with a mouse, so. Can I lasso that? No. All right, we're just going to ignore that. Oh, wait. Let me erase it. Erase, erase, erase. Okay. Bear with me. Okay, so this whole thing right here is called the background. Or bridge. It bridges the hook to the claim. So now we're going to move down and look at the claim. Animals should be kept in zoos or nature parks because they are being treated with love and care. Also, they are protected from all hurt, harm, and danger. And also, it's increasing the population of endangered species. So they gave numerous reasons. They said, yes or no. They took a yes. Remember, they asked, write an argument whether the animal should be kept in a controlled environment. Animals should be kept in zoos. So they said yes. So this is our claim. So we are going to mark it with green. So underline or actually you can either underline it. I'm just going to bracket it. But this is your claim. This is what they are arguing. So notice the introductory paragraph is very important. It sets you up. This is not where you want to not write. So you start with a hook, then you give a background or bridge to the claim. You're setting them up, the reader, to understand what you're going to talk about. Hook, background, claim. That's what yours should look like. Okay, now let's move on. We're going to look at the first body paragraph. So let's find our red because we're going to look for our reason. close enough. Animals that are being kept in zoos are being treated properly with love and care. Notice that that reason is in the claim. Now, I've written your claim for you, so your reasons will not be in your claim. But they connected it directly to the claim. So let's underline this. This is their first reason. Animals are being kept in zoos are being treated properly with love and care. All right? For example, that is a transitional phrase that tells the reader some evidence is coming. So you want to use a transitional phrase to tell the reader, oh, I'm going to get some evidence to support my claim. So let's take our blue. For example, they're being fed a proper nutrient diet on a regular schedule, so they are able to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Also, animals are receiving medical care from veterinarians to make sure they are properly nourished. Animals are also being, now notice, they jump in right here and they're actually giving another reason. They should have made this a new paragraph, but that's okay, right? Because it's a timed right, so they don't expect perfection. They just expect a strong argument. So here we have another reason. Animals are also being protected from wildlife predators and hunters. Then the student says, for example, now I know some more evidence is coming. For example, with animals being in the zoo, they have rangers to watch over them just in case they are endangered by anything, okay? Again, not perfect. Not perfect as far as grammar, but we're looking for a strong argument, so don't stress, right? All of these benefits allows the animals to live longer than they would in the wilderness. So here is their explanation. All of these benefits allows animals to live longer than they would in the wilderness. So this is all good. Animals that are kept in zoos are being treated properly with love and care. And then they say why this is so important. This is the explanation. It explains why this connects back to this. Now, you are going to color code the other two body paragraphs on your own. Miss Butera has the key, so she's going to give you some feedback as you do it to see if you can find the reasons, the evidence, and the explanation for the next two paragraphs. So stop the video here and do that. When you're done with that, come back and I'm going to go over the conclusion. Welcome back. So now we're going to jump to the last paragraph, the conclusion. As you can see, so this is a transitional phrase that leads you into your conclusion. Although many people think animals should be kept in the wild for their own benefits, the reason why they shouldn't live in the wild far outweighs why they should. So here we have the counterclaim and the rebuttal. So I gotta go quick here. So there's the counterclaim, and then black. The reason why they shouldn't far outweighs why they should. Zoos and nature parks are providing beneficial needs to the animals that can't be provided in the wilderness. Again, they're finishing it off. So that's the conclusion paragraph. So this whole thing right here is your conclusion paragraph. Okay? So now you need to start drafting your own argument using this outline that we have provided for you and the evidence that you've collected. Thank you. I look forward to seeing what you come up with.